This is an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder.
Let's boldly go where no man has gone before, and certainly where very few red shirts have returned from. Whenever suave Captain Kirk meets a lady on Star Trek, lives are saved, or so it seems, if you break down the deaths in the iconic TV series using stats and analytics. Matt Bailey of SiteLogicMarketing.com has done just that, using his training to get to the bottom of Star Trek's famous red shirt phenomenon. Matt is on the line with us right now from Ohio. Hi, Matt. How are you?
All right, Peter. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Thanks for being on the program with us. This sounds like literally fun with numbers. What made you come up with this idea to check into the red shirt phenomenon?
Well, I will say it's the product of a very boring Thursday afternoon. That's how it started. I do a lot of teaching and a lot of seminars teaching people how to better understand marketing their websites and understanding what happens in their websites. So my challenge is trying to make website statistics and analytics fun. Is really my challenge that I have to work on. And so on a boring Thursday afternoon, I start looking at some information on, I think it was sci-fi.com, and looking at some episode reviews of the early Star Trek series. And I started seeing that, this is the first episode where Spock said it's logical. This is the first episode where Scotty said, I'm giving it all she's got. And all of a sudden my mind just started turning about, has anyone ever gone through and really actually counted the red shirt deaths? Because we always talk about it, it's a joke, but I don't think anyone has ever really done it. Which is funny because I deal a lot with this when we're talking with companies about their websites. There's always what we call the HIPPO, the highest paid person's opinion, who says, I think this is what's wrong with the website, but there's never any data to back it up. It's just we're going on assumptions, what people think. And it was kind of the same thing with the red shirt. So that's really what introduced this whole really a wonderful story that's happened as a result of that.
Now, I understand that you found that red shirt deaths account for a whopping 43% of casualties compared to only 6 yellow shirt deaths and 5 blue shirts. Yes.
Yeah, and what's amazing is a lot of that happens in the second and third season of the original series and not so much in the first season. And then just the intertwined relationship from there. So we found out, and that's the first pass at the data was finding out, yes, that's exactly what happened is there definitely were more red shirt deaths than anything else. But then, like a good analyst, they don't stop there. They want to know why. And so that's where we teach people how to, you got to look at the segment and then look at the factors that affect the segment. So the first thing we found in looking to see what is the biggest overall factor that makes red shirts die on the series, and we found that nearly 60% of the time, if they beam down to the planet's surface with Captain Kirk, they're going to die. So that's a pretty hefty number there.
Yeah.
And then about 42% of the time, they died on board, whether in a fight with a Klingon or an alien or something like that on there. So we found that basically whenever the red shirts are in the line of fire, that contributes to their high death rate. Then we went to find out, what other factors contribute to red shirts not dying? And so we found an interesting correlation that whenever there's an episode where Captain Kirk meets an alien woman, the red shirt death rate goes down to 16%. And really, I think one of the things we found more recently, too, is if the alien woman is green, no red shirts die.
So if Captain Kirk gets some, everyone lives.
Really, that if he's happy, everyone's happy. I mean, that's really what we tend to find. But the business point of all of this is finding those factors that result in improved business factors and finding those things that reduce your return on investment, that reduce your profits, and finding out what are the factors that help your business or hurt your business, and developing that. So that's what we teach from an analytics standpoint and using Star Trek to do that.
Now, you said you came up with this on a board Thursday, and yet you touch on Star Trek. You know there's a lot of Star Trek fans out there. This is up on your blog, on your website. What was the reaction, or what has the reaction been from people once you did this?
It's been across the board reactions. I've been implementing this into my presentations for about, I'd say probably about 2 years before I put it up on the blog. But as soon as I got it up on the blog, the reactions are, this is amazing. I feel like I understand statistics now. To the other side of the data geeks and the Star Trek geeks that want to argue about, well, in this episode, the death was off screen, so it doesn't really count. And then someone said everything is as it was, so that means he didn't. I'm not, that's a little too over the top for me. But I get a lot of Star Trek, I consider myself a data geek, but I get a lot of Star Trek geeks that really want to debate the finer points of the episodes. And that's, I have to pull back and say, that's not the point. This wasn't an expose of Star Trek. It was just, an example of how to understand really how to display data, how to communicate data, and how to make it work for you.
Maybe next thing to do is the analytics on the mindsets of Trekkers themselves.
I think that would be a lifetime work.
And I notice I did say Trekkers and not Trekkies, because Trekkies can be considered by some derogatory. So,
I noticed that. That's a little different there. I guess that's a non-derogatory term then?
Exactly. So all of this was to basically teach online analytics, and it's gotten your name out there. So tell us a little bit about SiteLogicMarketing.com.
SiteLogic Marketing, really, we're a small firm. I did a lot of work for other agencies until I decided to go out on my own. And really what we start with is the basis of analytics and understanding what's happening on your website right now, and then teach people what they need to do in order to rank better in the search engines, to get more people to do what they want them to do online and on their websites, and the bottom line, improve their profits. But I do a lot of teaching at seminars, in-house teaching for companies. It's really taken me all over the world teaching companies and organizations about how to do this with their website. One of the most incredible things about this Star Trek example is I gave it in France. I've given it in Spain and Germany and England, literally all over Europe. And what's funny is everyone understands it. Star Trek is probably the only example I could have used that had that worldwide just connectivity of a story. Everyone gets it no matter where you're from. If you've seen the original series, I never realized how worldwide Star Trek was, not just the analytics portion.
Right. And needless to say, the analytics of your site has changed ever since you have come up with the analytics according to Captain Kirk.
Absolutely. We watch that every couple of weeks because we'll get traffic from StumbleUpon or Facebook or, from your program. That's one of the things we'll be able to do is just look up and see from the people that come from your link on your website, how long do they stay on our site? What other things do they look at? How many of those people fill out a contact form? And just, that's part of what we can do with analytics. It's actually kind of scary how much we can find out. And that's part of helping people just understand what clients or what website visitors are your best website visitors. So we watch that article page fairly often to see who finds it every once in a while.
Well, it's an interesting study and an interesting business. Again, the website is SiteLogicMarketing.com. And as you say, there is a link from my site to your site so people can find more information. I thank you, Matt, for being on the program with us, and live long and prosper.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much.
Matt Bailey of SiteLogicMarketing.com talking about Star Trek's red shirt phenomenon. Again, you can check out the website at SiteLogicMarketing.com, or you can just go to my website and follow the links. The site is thestufffile.com. Go to the What's On page for this show, which is, of course, number 0025, and you can find all the information.
You've just heard an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder. To hear any or all of the full hour-long shows, visit thestufffile.com. Stuph is spelled S-T-U-P-H. That's thestufffile.com. A presentation of Flying Fish Communications.